Alrighty, we're in on round one of GP Mishiro Town. We're on a tough matchup from everything I understand. Mono Green is the berry killer, and our opponent Provocative here is on Mono Green. Now, I do think we have some advantages in this matchup. We are on a couple copies of Feasting Predator that I think Feasting Predator is a good card in this matchup. Having Pathetic Cocoons early does help us buy some time against green aggro, but there are starts that our opponent can just like peel way ahead and just bury us before we ever get a chance to get the lead. Pun not intended. um, so we'll see if the Berry Killer claim holds up. This is definitely a match where we want to roll the die, win the die roll, and 17 wins. Okay, that's a good start. Definitely what we want to see here. Little awkward mana situation in this opening hand. Oh no, swamp. The particular colors of mana a little hard to tell, but definitely keeping 7 here. This is turn 1 cocoon into turn 2 smart shopper into turn 3 extraction ritual. Our opponent's keeping 5 as well, a very good sign too. Our opponent is on 2 copies of Thunderous Avalanche in the main, so something we do want to be prepared for and aware of is we don't necessarily want to go in on Extraction Ritual as our entire plan. It's part of why I think we want to cocoon into Smart Shopper rather than just going right into the ritual. But we will get to kick things off here with Swamp into the cocoon. Make our first berry token and pass on over. So the big concern here is that our opponent just gets to go Seeker of New Horizons into Growing Gecko. That will just run us over very quickly, and we do see the Seeker. So opponent is getting their desired 1-drop on 1. I suppose that is something you get when you mulligan to 5. We'll untap and draw. We find the Berry Master. That is definitely a card we want to see in this matchup. It is something that really does help us take command of this game. So let's go ahead and play this Sunlit Ruins. Thinking I might pitch this Plains to Extraction Ritual. And let's go ahead and play the Smart Shopper and make ourselves another berry and pass on back. Always a temptation to swing the cocoon there to send a message, but the cocoon does meaningfully block the Seeker of New Horizons without us losing the Smart Shopper, though there is a consideration for us blocking with the Smart Shopper. Second Seeker does mean that this land is going to result in a pair of 2/2s. If they swing the Seeker, I could consider blocking with the Smart Shopper to trade, but they're not going to offer such a trade, so I will accept that for now. And we will go ahead and draw. No other 1-drop is very exciting to see here. Ooh, now we have a decision to make, and I think this is a pretty easy decision, honestly. Cogwork Harvester means we can go Coalesced Mesa here, tap for colorless and a green, spend a colorless and a green for Cogwork Harvester. We make a berry. And now we can go for Extraction Ritual. Discarding Plains, sacrificing Berry, sacrificing Pathetic Cocoon. So the one thing that's dangerous about this is we are set up to struggle in the face of a Thunderous Avalanche, but it is a 2-of. It's possible that our opponent did dig for it because of their multiple mulligans, but that's also possible that they had to mulligan for bad hands. So just a kind of risk we have to take here. So we're going to go ahead and make 3 cyborgs, take 3, and draw 3 cards. Berry Fermenter, Smiling Sludge, and Swamp to get us to Berry Master. That is everything we want to be seeing here. So if our opponent does not have the Thunderous Avalanche this next turn, we are going to get to kind of start running over our opponent a bit here. And we will pass on back to our opponent. I think next turn is going to be Berry Fermenter, Smiling Sludge. They do get the land drop for buffing both Seekers. It is now or never. They have 3 cards in hand. Is one of them the Thunderous Avalanche? If so, we've got a tough game on our hands. Opponent is looking at turning both sideways. I'm just going to say no blocks. We will go ahead and take 6. Show me the Thunderous Avalanche. Doing it now before I can activate the Cogwork Harvester is best for you. Skull-Nix Weaver, we are in the clear. Oh, our opponent might come to regret that. We could consider running out Berry Master, but we did already burn the Extraction Ritual, and I think in this matchup, especially with Thunderous Avalanche being their way to kill Berry Master, I want to be able to play Berry Master and have mana up to activate. And we would have mana up to activate thanks to Cogwork Harvester, but I want to get Berry Fermenter and Smiling Sludge in play first, I think. So we will untap and draw, get a Journey Begins. We could crack Berry to Journey Begins potentially here, find more action. I think we're going to hold off on just running out. No, we're going to run out of the swamp. Running out the swamp. I think as much as I want the damage from Smiling Sludge, I think I would much rather get the Smart Shopper trigger. So we're going to tap black, green, and colorless. Black, green, and colorless for Berry Fermenter. And we will make 3 berries. And then make 1 more berry from this entering. Let's get this tapped properly for Smiling Sludge. And we will go ahead and make a new berry. And we now have 7 berries plus Cogwork Harvester. That is 8 mana available to us. We will cast Journey Begins. Make ourselves a construct. We're not quite there yet, but we might be close. Maybe there was a consideration to running out Berry Master here, actually, in the face of having a Journey Begins. Let's view top 5. Cogwork Harvester, Smart Shopper, Plains. I think I like grabbing Smart Shopper here. We could go Berry Master into Smart Shopper. Puts 4 more berries in play, leaves up a Berry Master activation. And then we can turn our board sideways, turn all of our things that were already in play sideways. Yeah, let's get the Smart Shopper here, ship the 3 lands and the Harvester to the bottom. Kind of a tricky puzzler here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 artifacts. We deal 4, gain 4. Get the Berry Master in play. You're going to make 2 berries. Let's go right on to combat. Fermenter came down this turn. Smiling Sludge came down this turn. One of these constructs came down. So let's turn the crew sideways. Let's say 4 damage. Yeah, they know it's or oh, actually, that was a misplay. I needed to buff. Let's hold the shopper. I think we can, or well, we don't have a choice now. Anyways, we activated Berry Master, but I think we can just pass on over. Our opponent says think this game is mostly over anyways, and I've got to agree. Like they've got a pair of 3/3s. Yeah, they're done. That is exactly what we want to see there. No Thunderous Avalanche to worry about. Um, I think the sideboard plan here is a little troublesome. Obvious thoughts on our opponent's sideboard plan are going to be Hungry Blob and Thunderous Avalanche, but they might also bring in Hardy Rough Rider as a way to stabilize since we are trying to burn them out. Um, However, there are uh, things we can do to try and fight that. I think Yeji looks solid enough here. Um, I think Yeji does what we need it to do in terms of just kind of getting us to fight on the board. We're going to have to make some risky blocks sometimes if they are able to get aggressive rather quickly, and so Yeji is going to allow us to fight on that a little bit better. And because Yeji's in our board and they don't know if we'll bring it in, I don't see any reason why they'd want to board in Soul Guide Lantern. I think their best plan is just to kill us faster. And in fact, I don't even know if they want to bring in the Hungry Blobs. In my playtesting, obviously everyone's up on Hungry Blob because it picks off 3 berries. Or it picks off like 2 berries and another permanent. And in this matchup, it picks off 2 berries and a Cogwork Harvester usually. Um, or it can pick off several 1/1 tokens. But I think that's not the best use of Hungry Blob, and it is a 3 mana 2/2. In my playtesting, mulliganing for Hungry Blob against this deck is really awkward because this card doesn't actually stop what I'm doing, just slows me down a little bit. And if you're slowing me down by playing a 3 mana 2/2, then I think I'm fine getting slowed down because you're slowing down more. And I get the first opportunity to react to the both of us getting slowed down. So Yeji, I want here. I also want Gone Pickin'. There are absolutely creatures that I just need to get rid of. Skull and Nyx Weaver is a pretty problematic creature. A big Seeker of New Horizons could be worth picking off the board because even if it gets removed, even if the enchantment gets removed, Seeker then comes back as a 1/1. Yens is absolutely a creature to remove if I ever get the chance. Growing Gecko is pretty important to remove. So having the Gone Pickens is going to be really important. As far as going down on cards here, I'm going to go down at least 1 Cogwork Harvester. I'm going to go down 1 Deadly Dispute, 1 Extraction Ritual, and 1 Pathetic Cocoon. I think the Cocoon is really good, but I think my draw engine being so artifact heavy is a real risk in the face of Hungry Blobs and Thunderous Avalanches, which our opponent is doubtlessly going up on both of those. So not being super high on those is pretty safe. I do still want the Smart Shopper that does let me get back on the board for tokens very quickly. Berry Fermenter is great for burning tokens. Feasting Predator is great for kind of pressuring the board. It really is just a question of what are these last 2 cuts going to be. And after some thinking in playtesting, I think it is actually taking out Imposing Iteration. I think our opponent going up on a lot of artifact and enchantment removal means that if we're relying on Imposing Iteration as our big kill you answer, Imposing Iteration is going to cost us a lot of time if we're leaning on it too much. So we're going down a bunch of 1s cuts on our draw package and our 1 artifact creature, as well as the 2 Imposing Iterations, and let's run it back. So we don't have as much reach. The game is more about locking down the board, but we can run our opponent out of resources in this matchup. So let's see what they've got for us. Opponent is on the play. We have Swamp, Coalesced Mesa, Nascent Light Vein, as well as Pathetic Cocoon, Extraction Ritual, Berry Fermenter, Gone Pickin'. This is going to be a keep 7 if I've ever seen it. Alrighty. That's going to be, I think, Swamp on 1 into Pathetic Cocoon, into Ritual before I play the land. That's a Seeker. We will draw. Play the Pathetic Cocoon. Make a berry and pass. If they get their good 1-drop, we get our good 1-drop too. Do they have the second Seeker? They had it last game. They do not, but they might have something worse. We shall see. Morbid Bloomer. Interesting. Alrighty. So concern here with going all in on Extraction Ritual is we could just be playing into, getting ourselves blown out with Thunderous Avalanche, but I think that is just a risk we're going to have to take. I am looking at pitching this Coalesced Mesa rather than this Nascent Light Vein. Despite us picking up a second Nascent Light Vein, I think having the 3 lands and having these lands be whatever colors we need it to be, we can play Light Vein on green, Light Vein on white, and then have all of our colors of mana, because we don't have our colorless card in the deck right now. So let's Extraction Ritual, sack Berry, sack Cocoon, discard Coalesced Mesa, and then we will make a berry. Let's take 3, make 3 1/1s, and draw 3 cards. We get a Smiling Sludge, a Deadly Dispute, and a second Gone Pickin'. I think we're going to go ahead and play Light Vein tapped on green here, because we got the Berry Fermenters. And then we'll just play this third one on white and pass on back to our opponent. If they have the Thunderous Avalanche or they have the Blob, then obviously we'd probably just lose our Cyborgs here, but small price to pay, I think. There's the Thunderous Avalanche. Yep. Knew it was coming. I would honestly much rather get this wiped now than be later in the game and lose to the Thunderous Avalanche. So we'll take 6. Sideboard card doing what the sideboard card's supposed to do. We will untap and we will draw. Cogwork Harvester. Let's play this untapped on white. And run out a Berry Fermenter. If nothing else, this blocks Morbid Bloomer. And starting next turn, we can go Smiling Sludge into Gone Pickin'. We'll go ahead and pass. Journey Begins means they're not playing a Yens this turn, which is nice, because Yens would mean they could go counter on Seeker from the land drop. They're getting a land, which tells me they probably just didn't have the land for turn. Tells me they might also not have had a 3-drop potentially, because I wonder if you would have just gone for the 3-drop first, but perhaps you do just Journey before you play the 3-drop. Turning Seeker sideways, we're going to go ahead and take 4. Paying 1, 2, 3. Skull and Ixweaver, they did have the 3-drop. Alrighty. Small consideration, we might want to Gone Pickin' the Skull and Nyxweaver now instead of the Seeker, and then just block with the Berry Fermenter next turn. because we have another fermenter in hand. We will untap and draw. Find an extraction ritual is not super great here. Not in a position to be taking a bunch of damage. Let's go ahead and pay 2 for a Smiling Sludge. Make a berry. And we have a couple choices. We could Gone Pickin' the Skull and Weaver here, or we could Deadly Dispute, sacrificing both berries. We make a treasure, and then we do nothing else. Yeah, that's not an option. We're going to go ahead and... for Gone Pickin', we'll gain 2, lose the berries. Yep, and they lost the 2. We're going to take out the Skull and Weaver, make a berry token, and attach this to the Gone Pickin'. Thinking on a berry attachment option, I don't know how worthwhile it is to just put the berry on the berry fermenter. I think the fermenter's just getting under the bus one way or another. The awkward thing really is just I don't know how good of a position we're in if we block. That's just what's really awkward here. Like, we might not be able to block. I mean, I think dream scenario here is our opponent doesn't play land drop, goes Hungry Blob, blow up Gone Pickin' and the berry, and we just crack the berry in response, and then they just hit us for 4, and we'll just take the 4. I could look at putting it on the berry fermenter, just so that way without the land drop, there's no... that like attacking just kind of eats our berry, and then we save the berry fermenter and don't take the damage. I'm going to attach to the berry fermenter. Because in a pinch, if they go and try to destroy the berry, we just tap it with berry fermenter anyways. This does give them the ability to force the issue with a Thunderous Avalanche, kind of killing berry fermenter and taking the berry off the board. But again, we can just respond to Thunderous Avalanche by sacking the berry for mana, if nothing else. So we'll go ahead and pass. There's the Hungry Blob. So gonna hit Gone Pickin' and the berry token. I'll just float a black mana and steal 1. And then this is gone, and they have their Weaver back. Two lands, other Morbid Bloomer. Tough. And they're going to put a counter on Morbid Bloomer. I think this is going to be a situation where we offer the trade with Smiling Sludge and Berry Fermenter. And we're just fine taking 5. Killing Fermenter, I think that's the wrong line. Because the Sludge is how we gain life and then stabilize. We will untap and draw. Our opponent is out of cards in hand, but they do have the double bloomer up. We do find Sunlit Ruins makes us happy that our 1 basic is a swamp. So we can now go for Sunlit Ruins, Berry Fermenter, Extraction Ritual, Sacrifice 2, deal 2, gain 2, take 3, make 3/1/1s. But that does leave us vulnerable to Nyxweaver putting a trample counter on something. Alternatively, we Sunlit Ruins, Berry Fermenter, Cogwork Harvester. That similarly does have some vulnerabilities to it. Yeah, we're just in an awkward spot here, I think. Perhaps we could look at Deadly Disputing something. No, it's just really awkward. We're definitely playing the Sunlit Ruins. Green and white. Let's go for the Berry Fermenter. And planning on chumping with the Smiling Sludge, and then paying with the Berry to Deadly Dispute it. This Morbid Bloomer is going to allow them to fight on the board more effectively, especially with the Skull and Nyxweaver, but they are otherwise top decking, so this could be worse, I suppose. Oh, and I also definitely don't have this black floating anymore. This is tense. Yeah, definitely not drawing what we need to draw. We really would love to have seen would love to have seen oh, goodness gracious, brain is just failing me. Berry Master. Berry Master would have been great here. But two of we can only do so much. Not seeing our other sideboard card Yeji would have helped here a great deal, letting us just kind of get back like Pathetic Cocoon, get back Berry Farmer, get back Gone Pickin'. Going to combat without playing things means that there's no Skull and Nyxweaver trample counter to worry about unless they're holding the Thunderous Avalanche, and the Avalanche would just end things immediately. So opponent is just swinging wide. We're going to go ahead and take these blocks. Opponent says before damage. Thunderous Avalanche, targeting the Smiling Sludge. And the Morbid Bloomer. So, choose keyword counter mode on Nyxweaver. Yeah, that's going to give trample to the Skull and Nyxweaver. Yeah, the Thunderous Avalanche doesn't even really matter because we blank that, but the trample counter doesn't matter anyways. The goal of the Thunderous Avalanche is just clearing the Smiling Sludge. So that's 10 damage now coming at us. We gain 2 between Deadly Dispute and sacrificing the Berry and the Smiling Sludge. Yep, they got me. Would have loved to see Yeji there. Get back our removal with Yeji would have just been great. Getting the 3/3 on board would have been great. But sometimes it's just not how it comes together. I'm getting ready to roll a die. That's not what happens here. Ooh. 5 lander on 21 lands with all 4 Nascent Light Veins. Let's go to 6 and immediately regret some things. Not like this. Ugh. two really tense games, followed by having to mull to 5 against the aggro deck, keeping 7. I would love to keep Pathetic Cocoon here, and then maybe like just Deadly Dispute away the treasure. And we've got Berry Fermenter. We've got we can like pitch Smart Shopper, and then keep like try and get Feasting Predator in play, and this just takes over the board if left unchecked. But unfortunately, we have no way to guarantee our second land, and there are only 20 more lands in the deck. So keeping a 1-lander feels really, really ballsy. If this were a 5er, I would put back on Pickin' and Smart Shopper and keep it, but show me a 5. This is actually a reasonable 5. Coalesced Core, Nascent Light Vein, plus Cocoon and Yeji. Actually, I don't know if we want to keep Yeji. We're definitely shipping Harvester to the bottom. We could go Light Vein to the bottom. No, we're going Smart Shopper to the bottom because we're playing the Light Vein on 2 and getting it tapped anyways. Keep 5. I'll need all the luck I can get. At least I got Cocoon on 1 every game. And I'll pass. They got Seeker every game, and I think their 1-drop's better to get every game than mine on 1. So, what can you do? You'll draw a Coalesced Mesa. We're just going to play the Light Vein tapped and wish we had kept one of our cards. Set annotation to white. And pass. Not loving the position I'm in here. Journey Begins is promising, but I suspect this is just going to go find a land here. Yep. Getting a land. It's good use of Journey Begins here. Forest for the Seeker. Do they have another 1-drop is the question. They do. Oh, and it's a Seeker, so they didn't have the land. Very interesting. We will untap and draw. That's an Extraction Ritual. That makes our next turn really interesting. So we're going to play Nascent Light Vein on green and run out Yeji. And Ritual is very exciting with Yeji next turn. So we'll pass. Unfortunately, very noisy chair. Unfortunately, Thunderous Avalanche does do a great deal against what we have going on right now. Oh, they had the land, so it's possible that they did not have the 3rd land, and so they were just trying to guarantee it. No, because I still don't see why you would play Seeker 2nd. Skull and Nyxweaver's scary, but if we can draw into removal here, that'll be pretty nice. Untap and draw. That's a Feasting Predator. So, oof. If we pitch the Coalesced Mesa, then there's no guarantee we can play the Predator. But if we pitch the Predator, obviously there's no guarantee we get a playable spell. Let's pitch the Mesa. So, pay a black for Extraction Ritual. Discard. Sacrifice. And make the Berry token. Let's make 3 1/1s. Take 3. And draw 3. We could have gone Feasting Predator into Extraction Ritual for 2. That would have actually been an interesting option, because we do pay the costs on Extraction Ritual before Yeji triggers. Swamp, Smiling Sludge, Cogwork Harvester. All right, we did hit the Black Source for Feasting Predator here. So let's go Swamp, Feasting Predator, Yeji trigger. Let's go get the Pathetic Cocoon and make a token copy of it. Nope. Oh, yeah, actually, we will make a berry from getting the token itself. So set annotation to token, and then Predator enters. I don't think we can really rumble with Yeji right now. We'll just kind of have to accept some beats. But we will be able to start swinging with Feasting Predator next turn. This Nyx Weaver is in a really sketchy spot. Okay, Seekers are growing. Opponent taps 2 for a Growing Gecko. That's going to trigger Skull and Nyx Weaver, untap a land, and putting a counter on the second Seeker, so they're both 4/4s. Going to combat. This reads like a... This definitely reads like they have Thunderous Avalanche here. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to throw Cocoon under the bus. We're going to throw Feasting Predator under the bus. We're going to throw Cyborg under the bus and just preserve life here. Actually, hold on. If they have Thunderous Avalanche, obviously this could be a potentially big blowout, but perhaps we Feasting Predator block one of these Seekers and just throw all 3 Cyborgs underneath the Skull and Nyx Weaver. The disaster scenario here is that they're sitting on, Thunderous Avalanche to just like blow up all of our artifacts, or to fight Yeji and shoot Yeji down, and then they clear the way for Growing Gecko. Can even potentially give one of their creatures trample, but I think the opportunity is here, and I just need to take it. I need to get things off the board, and if Yeji goes unchecked, we have some good value here, to be sure. No Thunderous Avalanche, please. Thunderous Avalanche. Yeah. All right. So Avalanche is going to kill the Feasting Predator. That is good, though, because that does mean that Yeji is sticking around. And they're putting a counter on the Skull and Nyx Weaver. So we make a berry from the Predator dying, because it does see itself. Arrows moment. And then damage happens. This goes away. We make a berry. All of our Cyborgs go away, but we did preserve our life total, and that Thunderous Avalanche is out of here with 4 berries up to our name. We are going to go ahead and take our turn. We will draw a Berry Fermenter. That is nice here. Let's go ahead for the Berry Fermenter. We make a berry. Let's go for a Smiling Sludge. Yeji is going to make a Feasting Predator. And this is a token. And let's go ahead and pay 2, gain 2 for a Cogwork Harvester. Just run everything out here, get ourselves set up. And hold on back. So this growing gecko is going to be a little difficult to deal with adequately, but the Amity trigger, like, I don't think our opponent's getting the Amity trigger, so I think we can safely just not block it, because it does only transform if it gets the Amity trigger, and our opponent's going to struggle to get the Amity trigger right now. Morbid Bloomer's a problem, but it's a problem we can live with. They'll untap a land, telling me, obviously, that they've got more things to do. Oh, don't tell me you have another Thunderous Avalanche. Hungry Blob. Targeting Cogwork Harvester and 2 berries. We'll gain 2. And we will lose the Harvester. This triggers, and we will make one of our berries back. Opponent is turning the crew sideways. And it looks like they put a counter on the growing gecko. We do have an opportunity to kill the Morbid Bloomer here, which is nice. But that requires us to have Feasting Predator survive. Before we leave main 1... Sackberry to gain 3. Then we gain another 1. Go to combat. All right, just clarifying where that mana came from to use Berry Fermenter. Now opponent's doing the combat thing, turning these sideways. Again, we could keep Feasting Predator to try and get some Morbid Bloomer value. We're at 23 with 15 coming at us. What if we just take 12, go to 11? What if we just take 12, go to 11? We take 12, go to 11, swing with Yeji, Berry Fermenter, Feasting Predator. Or I swing with Yeji, Feasting Predator, Smiling Sludge. Feasting Predator trigger, we pay the ward cost for Morbid Bloomer. I actually like this. It's a little ballsy. There are safer lines to take for sure. But we need to prioritize getting stuff off the board when and where we can, and there's no point in getting rid of other things before the Morbid Bloomer, because the Morbid Bloomer will just get back whatever we kill. And even if we don't go swing full wide, which if we don't find like a good thing to get back is a reason to not swing full wide, we can untap here and draw. That's Berry Master. Ooh, that's Berry Master. Yeah. Berry Master is a hell of a way to stabilize this board. Berry Master enters. We make 2 berries. Now we definitely want a Yeji here, I think, because Berry Master will make another berry off of Yeji trigger. So what's the safest things to swing with? I think it's everything but the Berry Fermenter. We're going to swing with Yeji, Feasting Predator, Smiling Sludge. I'm going to make a Cogwork Harvester. I'm going to target Morbid Bloomer. I'm going to pay the ward with a berry. Resolve Yeji first. Why did they take 2? Okay, yeah. So we're going to go ahead and make a Cogwork Harvester token and exile this. And Berry Master will make us a berry because that is a token being created. And then we will Feasting Predator, kill the Morbid Bloomer, and we deal 1, gain 1. So that kills the Morbid Bloomer. We make 2 more berries. And we've got 7 coming in. They've got 1 in hand that Hungry Blob is blocking. So they take 6. They go to 7. We've got Berry Master, Berry Fermenter, Cogwork Harvester. And we pass. Two cards available. Not super crazy about the notion of using Berry Master here and having to burn all 4 of our berries to do so, but we gain 8 by doing that, and we deal 4 to our opponent. If we had 1 more berry in play, we actually had lethal by using Berry Master, kill our own Cogwork card. We had lethal that turn, actually. Oh, no. Oh, no, we didn't have lethal that turn because we did not have the berries from... No, we did have the berries. Oh, no. Yeah, we did have lethal because we had the 4 berries. We had Berry Master activation, kill our Cogwork Harvester. Yeah, oof. So our opponent's swinging everything. We are taking 1, 2... we're taking... Yeah, let's do... Fermenter here, we take 12. And Berry Master here. Our opponent takes 2. Berry Master is going to grow the Fermenter and shrink Skola, I think. Sacrificing 2 more berries and paying 2. They had the Avalanche. So Skola is going to shoot Berry Master. Yeah, that's GG's. And even without having to attack our opponents at 3 life, we crack both berries on our opponents on our turn, and then we also can just tap and sacrifice the Cogwork Harvester. We beat the mono green matchup that is supposed to be terrible for us, supposedly. I am so glad that went down the way I hoped it would. Feasting Predator does everything we want it to in this matchup. It is why I'm so glad we're on 3 of them. I think this card is just so good in these very board centric matchups. And there are a lot of board centric matchups in the field right now. So Feasting Predator getting to do its job here. Yeji really showing its strength in the sideboard. Coming back from a mulligan to 5. Oh, that was tough. And we ended at a very cozy life total. We were at what was our life total at? We were at 17. We were at 21 before damage, taking 8. So we ended at 13 before even having to deal the final points of damage. So even without having to attack, we end that game 16 life to 0 life against the aggro deck. That is exactly how we drew it up. Cheers to that. And that is cheers to a successful round 1. Already going better than last month. I will see you all in round 2. Cheers.